Hey, how's it going? I hope you're having an amazing day and welcome back to another video. There are so many smartphone gimbals in the market that sometimes choosing one can be a bit overwhelming. And one of my favorite ones this year has been the Hohem iSteady M6, and now this same company has just released a new updated version. This is the iSteady M7, Hohem's new flagship gimbal that has some of the best features and upgrades that you are not going to find in other gimbals. So in this video, I want to test this out and be able to tell you if this is something that you should buy or not. And just to be clear, Hohem sent me this gimbal to test it out, but as always, everything that I say in this video is my own opinion after using and testing this device. Let's first talk about the build quality because there's been some improvements here. The handle now has a better grip so it feels good to hold it. The motors are stronger so they will support smartphones up to 500 grams. And there is a new lock on every axis so it's easier to carry around. The iSteady M7 has a traditional design, so it's not as compact as other gimbals, and when you lock it down, this is how it looks like, so this is not going to fit inside your pockets. The weight is also on the heavier side at 630 grams, and the tripod, which has a brand new look, has a weight of 150 grams. But this design has a few advantages. For example, it allows the gimbal to tilt up or down with a huge range of movement, and this is able to rotate 360 degrees and beyond on the pan axis. The M7 is the only gimbal in the market that will let you set the position of the arms and the motor to be in the front or the back. This helps to keep the screen clear when you're looking at your frame or when you want to change the settings on your smartphone. But the main reason why I like this is because the arm and the motor will never get in the way if you want to use a wide-angle lens. The iSteady M7 comes with a magnetic module that you can attach at the top of the gimbal. This is a fill light and a tracking sensor, and it can be attached facing forward or backward, and it works in horizontal and portrait mode. The fill light has more power compared to the one on the M6. It is dimmable and it's bright enough for situations where you might need some extra light. The color temperature can be changed from 2700 to 6500 Kelvin, and this light can also be used in RGB mode, where you can select any color that you need and make your videos look more creative without having to use any kind of color filters. The tracking sensor was also upgraded with a 2-megapixel lens that makes the tracking more efficient than before. I've been testing it for a few days and it really feels more sticky than the previous generation. The movements are very smooth and it seems to do a fantastic job even in low light situations or when I had people passing by in front of me, as you can see in these videos. I do have to say that this is my favorite tracking device because this works regardless of the phone that you have. So if you have an iPhone or an Android, it's going to work just the same. You don't have to connect the gimbal with your phone using cables or Bluetooth, and you don't even need to use the Hohem app, which is great because you can use the tracking with any app and use the settings that you want. For example, with the native camera app, Instagram, TikTok, and so on. To activate the tracking, you now have a few options. The traditional way is to make an OK gesture and the gimbal will start tracking you. And to make it stop, you just have to show your hand like this. But Hohem went a step ahead and the iSteady M7 now has a big color screen that is touch enabled, where you can change multiple settings and set the gimbal to do different things. This is normally seen on gimbals that are bigger and more expensive, so this is the first and only smartphone gimbal that has it, and it feels so useful. Not just for the settings, but you can set panorama shots, infinite rotations with custom speeds, A to B movements, motion time lapses. Inception mode is also quick and easy to set up, and controlling the fill light using these menus is way easier than using the control wheel on the side. But the main feature that really got me excited is that if you swipe to the right, you will get a live view of the tracking sensor, and this changes everything. Instead of doing the OK gesture, you can track people by double tapping them on the screen. And the good news is that you can do the same with animals and some objects. And of course, it is easier to know what the sensor is tracking. But the screen is very useful to be used as a preview, for example if you want to use the back camera for vlogging instead of the front-facing camera that has a lower video quality. The field of view is very similar to the lens on the phone, and there is barely any lag on the display. But here comes the part that I like the most. You can remove the entire control panel from the gimbal to be used as a remote control, and use the joystick to move the camera around, start or stop recording, zoom in and out, and this button on the right will control the trigger so you can recenter or flip the camera around. The screen will let you access even more settings, and the live view on the tracking sensor takes the M7 to another level of how you can use this gimbal. Even if you don't need to use the tracking, the display will help to monitor your composition remotely from far away or for high or low angle shots, for example. The iSteady M7 has a built-in extension rod which can be extended up to 19.3 centimeters or 7.6 inches. The extension feels very solid, and it's good to have for vlogging videos or if you want to show more background when you frame yourself for a picture or a video. But this can also be useful for low angle shots to get the camera closer to the ground or if you need some extra height. When it comes to the stabilization, the iSteady M7 will do an excellent job, and it can make your videos look smoother when you make different movements. You're going to get steady shots if you're walking or if you're running with the gimbal, and depending on what you want to achieve, the M7 will help to keep the horizon straight. In these two video clips, you can see the difference of using a smartphone with no stabilization. The one on the left was shot handheld, and the one on the right side was using the iSteady M7. The M7 has 4 gimbal modes, which are pan follow, pan and tilt follow, POV, and there is a new custom mode where you can lock the axis that you want, and I think that I will use this to lock all 3 axes. I mean, for that function you can still activate that by pushing down the trigger, but I think that I like the option to have it as a preset. The big wheel on the left can also be customized, so it can be used to control the fill light or to rotate any axis manually. Manual focus can be used with the wheel, but this has to be done inside the Hohem app. But honestly, now that we have so many options and features that can be used without the app, I haven't been using it that much. I feel that the native camera app that comes with the phone does a much better job, and I like that Hohem is making it easier to have more freedom in that sense and not worry about resolution, frame rate limitations, or not being able to use all the new features that most phones have nowadays, like the cinematic mode that we have on the iPhone. Maybe let me know what you think about that, and if you want my honest opinion about this gimbal. I do believe that the M7 has plenty of features that are useful. You can't beat having an independent tracking sensor, a remote control with a big screen for the settings, and a live view of the sensor. It's just perfect for content creators and also for casual users, with perhaps the biggest downside being the big size and not being portable. But if you don't mind about that, I recommend that you check out the iSteady M7 using the link that is going to be down below. And if you use the link to buy it, it will help to support this channel. Or you can also give this video a like. That's going to be all for today. I hope you're having an amazing day, and I hope to see you again in the next video. Bye.